It is 11 a.m. in Paris. It's 10 a.m. in Ipswich in England. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is World One, live from London. 2 children and 1 adult have been killed in a shooting outside a Jewish school in the French city of Toulouse. Authorities say a teenager and a child were also injured. CNN's Jim Bitterman joins us now from Paris with more on that. Jim, what is the latest from there?
Well, Monita, in fact, the death toll may be going up by 1. Reportedly, there's been a 4th death among the victims.
Jim, while authorities are saying there are similarities in terms of the MO between last week's shooting of the paratroopers and today's shooting at a school, the differences between a shooting at, I guess, the targets of these killings would be troops and now school children.
Right, and that, of course, is going to be something they'll be looking in to see if these differences mean there are 2 different gunmen. But they are saying that...
Paris. Well, fans, family and friends of the footballer Fabrice Muamba are waiting anxiously for any news as he lies in intensive care in a London hospital. The 23-year-old who plays for Bolton in the English Premier League had a cardiac arrest and collapsed. Muamba's fiancée has reached out to fans through Twitter, asking them to keep praying for his recovery. CNN's Atika Schubert is outside the London Chest Hospital, where the footballer is currently in an induced coma. Is there any more word on his condition, Atika?
Not yet. We do know that manager Owen Coyle is inside with him, and we do expect him to make a statement at some point later today with an update on his condition. All we know for now is that he remains in critical condition.
In terms of when we can expect perhaps any more word, we understand, as you were saying, that the people who need to be there are inside right now, but any more word from the hospital in terms of any updates, more updates on his condition?
Not yet. They basically have told us that they will be talking through the manager, Owen Coyle, and he'll be giving us updates. But as you can imagine...
Atika, thank you very much. Atika Schubert there outside the London hospital where Fabrice Muamba is being treated. Well, reaction has been pouring in from Muamba's fellow players. Let's give you an idea of what some of them are tweeting here. Jermaine Defoe is saying, pray for Fab. God willing, he will pull through. Another one is here from Wayne Rooney. Hope Fabrice Muamba is okay. Praying for him and his family, still in shock. David Gold here with West Ham United co-owner. Fabrice Muamba is one of the nicest and most respectful young men I have ever met in football. I'm thinking of you, Fab. Get well soon, DJ. And you're hearing a lot about that, similar plays as well, saying similar sentiments about Fabrice Muamba, saying he's such a nice guy. And also hear from James Vaughan from Norwich City. Please, everyone, keep praying for Muamba. We need to keep helping him fight. I know he won't give up, and neither can we. You're watching World One, live from London. Coming up, activists in Syria say there has been fierce fighting in the heart of the capital, Damascus, this morning, within striking distance of President Bashar al-Assad's seat of power. At least 67 people were killed in bloody violence across Syria on Sunday. CNN's Arwa Damon is following developments in the Lebanese capital. She joins us now live with more on that. Arwa. Going on for a year now. All right, Ara, thank you very much for that, Ara Damon there in Beirut. A court in Harare will today rule on the case of 6 Zimbabweans arrested last year for watching videos of the Arab Spring uprisings. They were among 46 people arrested back in February during a gathering where footage of the events in Tunisia and Egypt were being shown. All right, Robin, thank you very much for that. Robin Kerner there reporting to us from Johannesburg, and we do apologize for the sound quality there. This is World One, live from London. Major story that helped whip up public anger about working conditions in China's high-tech industry is unraveling. It appeared to be a shocking look at the horrors suffered by workers at a factory in Shenzhen, China, where a company called Foxconn makes gadgets for famous names such as Apple and Microsoft. Well, CNN and other networks interviewed the man behind that report, Mike Daisy, after it aired on a popular U.S. radio show called This American Life. But that account is now being retracted because it turns out some of the stories Daisy told were just that, stories. Here's a bit of what he told CNN back in February.
The secret unions, because it has to be remembered that if you organize in China, you go to prison if you're caught by...
Well, This American Life says it later found out that Disney's story contains, quote, significant fabrications. They came to light when the China correspondent from another public radio show called Marketplace talked to the translator who worked with Daisy in China. Rob Schmitz joins us now from Shanghai with more on what he found. And Rob, we understand that at what point did you feel that this was something that you knew there were some holes that you need to pick through?
Oh, well, I knew it when I heard the segment on This American Life. I listened to it here at home in Shanghai, and there were a lot of points in the monologue that just didn't really ring true to me as someone who's lived off and on in China.
Job trying to find the holes, and you found them, so we appreciate your time speaking to us as well. Rob Schmitz there speaking to us from Shanghai. Appreciate your time. Well, it was a weekend of wild weather in parts of China as smoggy conditions coupled with snowfall caused difficulties in Beijing. Meteorologist Pedram Javaheri is at the World Weather Center. Pedram.
Let's talk about what's been happening over in Asia and China in particular.
Thank you very much. You're watching World One live from London. U.S. Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney is on a roll. He's just picked up nearly 11,000 kilometers from the United States. Some citizens of Iraq are also watching the race for the White House. CNN set up a microphone in Baghdad and asked people there what they would say to the winner of the U.S. presidential election in November.
If it happens for me to meet by chance American candidates, I will say to him or her, feel me, be me, walk in my shoe, and you will know what we are going through.
In Egypt, what was meant to be a solemn mourning for the Pope of the Coptic Church turned to tragedy on Sunday. 3 people were killed and dozens injured when overcrowding caused a stampede. Thank you, Ian Lee, reporting to us there from Cairo. You're watching World One live from London, an agonizing wait for family and friends. Let's take a look at sport now, and the headlines over the last couple of days have focused on the condition of Bolton player Fabrice Muamba, who remains critically ill after having cardiac arrest on Saturday. Pedro Pinto joins us now with more details on that. Pedro.
Well, Monita, Muamba right now is still fighting for his life in the intensive care unit of London's Chest Hospital. He has Azarenka, and it's crazy, Monita. 23-0 this year, like Djokovic last year, who went over 40 matches undefeated. Now we've got Azarenka on a run.
She's a powerhouse.
She is.
All right, Pedro, thank you very much for that. A lot more still to come here on World One. We'll be she's actually making her voice heard. It's a big day for Britain's newest royal and an exciting one for some of her younger fans. Well, for many little girls, it's the stuff dreams are made of, the chance to meet a real-life princess. Well, for the young patients at a hospice in England, the dream is becoming a reality. Britain's Duchess of Cambridge has just arrived at the Treehouse Hospice in Ipswich, where she's
out of the public spotlight.
All right, Max, thank you very much for that. Of course, as Max was saying, we will bring you that speech live as we anxiously wait to hear what Kate has to say, the Duchess of Cambridge. We want to bring you up to date on some of the other stories that we're talking about. A group of women is showing Bruce Springsteen who's boss. They're the Military Wives Choir. They marched to the top of the UK album charts with their debut record, knocking Springsteen's Wrecking Ball from the #1 spot. The singers are all partners of British soldiers serving in Afghanistan. Their album is called In My Dreams. Here's a question for you. Yeah, 1 lump or 2? Well, that question is about to take on a whole new significance for tea drinkers in China. We're bringing up this picture for you for a reason. Hold on. An entrepreneur has begun brewing up tea made from panda poo. Yes, I said poo on international television. Twice now. Businessman An Yanxi has been scooping up excrement from a giant panda sanctuary and using it to make green tea. If you're curious to find out what it tastes like, don't forget to bring your wallet. 1 cup costs $200. I think I'll stick to my usual builder's tea, as they call it. And finally, sick of putting on your ordinary clothes, old clothes, I should say? Would you rather dress up in a green mask and a giant turtle shell? No, me neither, but these people apparently do. Remember them? From my childhood, actually. More than 800 showed up and got together in the U.S. to break the records for the world's largest gathering of mutant Ninja Turtles. They emerged triumphant, beating the old record by 40 turtles. Oh, goody. You're watching World One live from London. I'm Monita Rajpal. Thank you for joining us. We'll update you with the news headlines at the top of the hour right here on CNN.